Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be about the 5 things that I learned from being off of social media for a year. I believe I actually was off of it for a little bit more than a year, but we're just gonna stick to a year because I didn't necessarily count the time. Okay, so let's get to it. And I have my notes right here. I actually wrote down bullet points so that I stay on topic. So if you see me looking at my phone, that's what I'm looking at. So the first thing that I learned from being off social media is that I had free time, a lot of free time. So before, when I was on social media, and a lot of us have experienced it, I'm sure, where we all of a sudden have nothing to do, and so we jump on our phones, we're scrolling, we're looking through things, commenting on other people's stuff, liking other people's stuff, just really all up in other people's business, and it takes up a lot of your time throughout the day. And when I got off of it, I almost didn't know what to do with myself, because I'm like, it's like this automatic impulse to just pick up my phone and start scrolling. And so once I got off of there, that was something that I kind of had to relearn. Like, what am I going to do to take up this specific space now that I'm not scrolling all day? So I definitely learned that we have so much time in the day, y'all. Like, and a lot of things you feel like you're not getting done, or I know me, a lot of things I felt like I wasn't getting done. It ended up getting done once I got off social media. So that's something to keep in mind. That is the first thing that I learned. Okay, so the second thing that I learned was actually how to interact with new people and new environments. I feel like I remember one specific situation where I had went to a friend of my husband's house, and it was around the time I wasn't really on social media. Now, mind you, we were just getting out of COVID, so we weren't around a lot of people all the time anyway. But once we started like going around people and things like that, I wasn't on social media, and I found that a lot of people, and me included before I got off social media, tend to get on their phones when they're in uncomfortable situations. And I was one of those people. So I was meeting with everyone and didn't have my phone. I didn't have nothing to do. So of course I'm just sitting there dealing with the discomfort. And so that made me, start to speak and actually talk with everyone and kind of get to know people, and that also encouraged them to get off of their phones as well. And we ended up having a pretty good time. So just little things like that, like going out, meeting people, really getting to see people, understand them, and relate to them in ways without allowing your phone to be a distraction, without allowing your social media platforms to be a distraction, and just encountering life as it comes at you was a pretty big lesson, and something that I didn't realize was hindering me from actually connecting with other human beings. Of course, I've heard people say it, but actually just putting myself in the position to be able to connect by ridding myself of those distractions was just very pleasing to me. Okay, so the third thing I learned was that my circle is actually a lot smaller than I remembered. So when you're on social media, you have people from high school, you have people that you didn't go to school with since kindergarten, and you just like, oh, I found this person, this is cool. Now y'all are following each other. You got friends, family members, people you don't know, you know what I'm saying? Like, so many different people following you, so many people engaging with you on a day-to-day basis through social media, because you're constantly putting yourself out there to be seen, and they're constantly putting themselves out there to be seen. But when I got off of social media, I literally realized that my interaction via my phone dropped drastically. There were so many people after the year that I didn't talk to anymore, people who I haven't seen in the last year, people who I even thought were close to me, I haven't even had contact with since I got off social media. And that just kind of helped me realize, like, it almost gives like this illusion that we have so many people in our communities or our tribes, and while it does serve its purpose online, when it comes down to like real life, like no one's present, like they're not present. And so that was kind of an eye-opener to me, because there were constantly people hitting me up in my DMs, sending stuff in my DMs, or writing comments under pictures and things like that, or even hitting me up to do stuff because they saw me present on social media. But once I got off of that, a lot of things just kind of went downhill. And honestly, it's a good thing. Like it wasn't a bad thing, but it just kind of made me appreciate the people who saw that I was off social media and still was like, hey, I miss you, like where are you, things like that. So it just kind of put into perspective like who is really a part of your life and who's just kind of a filler because of the internet. The fourth thing that I learned was how beautiful it was to just be present. Now, I don't think I mean, I have a hard time with this anyway. Like, I'm a Gemini and my mind just be everywhere. I'll be in the past somewhere, I'll be in the future somewhere. Like, so something that I started working on even then was just sitting down and being present and really taking the time to quiet my mind, quiet my spirit, because I be everywhere, okay? But social media was also just a very huge distraction, like going places, constantly taking footage, taking photos to put online, and or not even that, but now you just on the phone, like you're at this beautiful place, but you're on the phone scrolling through things. And once I got off social media, it was like this whole new world opened up to me. And maybe it was just because I was just so consumed with my phone. Other people may not have had this problem or may not have this problem, but literally things down to like how pretty someone's smile is. You didn't realize somebody's super close to you, like how pretty their smile is, because you're talking to them, but you're on your phone, you're looking at your phone. Or I started going to the trail a lot, just how beautiful the trail is, how comforting it is to just sit in your house and really just look around it. There are certain things you start like moving around in your house, and so many different hobbies. That's something I learned too, and I don't know if I spoke to it in the first one, but in my first reason, but it's not a reason. What is it? The first thing I learned. I literally learned that I much rather create things than consume things, and I feel like social media kind of it plays on both sides of the spectrum. Like, there are people who consume more than they create on social media, and then there are people who create more than they consume. But outside of social media, just creating in general, like I love making things. I picked up so many hobbies off social media. I learned how to skate, and I couldn't skate, y'all. Like, I could not skate. When I was little, I literally would go to the skating rink with summer camp, and I'd get good enough, like by the end of the skating rink session, and then I wouldn't go back for a while. Like, my parents didn't take us skating a lot, so I only went on like group field trips and stuff like that. But I really taught myself how to skate that past year. I taught myself how to skate. I taught myself about all my little plants and stuff. Like, I love plants. I started crocheting, just so many different things that I started putting my hands to, that had I just continued scrolling so much, like that would have been what took up so much of my time, and I literally wouldn't have found so many different passions and hobbies, which ultimately kept me present. It kept me in the moment, and for that, like I've gained a wealth of knowledge in so many different areas. I've learned so much about myself, you know, really taking the time to just be present, and whatever comes up, exploring that. And you can't really explore those things when they come up if you're constantly on that phone, okay? As it sits in my hand while I'm recording. Anywho. So number 5, I would say, is the biggest of all. I learned how to embrace myself without the need of external approval. So in number 4, I was talking about how I was able to be present and just kind of face whatever came up for me. There were a lot of things that I'd even see while I was on social media that would make me feel certain ways or not make me feel good, but instead of diving into them or taking the time to actually look into them, I would just go to another page or scroll somewhere else or do something else on the internet instead of saying, hey, let me, you know what I'm saying, do some work on this, or let me explore where this came from. So this just goes back to the exploration as well. Like, because you have the time, because you have the capacity, because your energy isn't going there, a lot of things that are showing up in your present moment, you have the room to explore. And a lot of the things I was doing at first, it made me realize that social media actually gave me this external approval that I felt like I needed for the things I was doing, the way that I looked, all of these things. Just like consistently just, I guess, looking for that via the people on social media. But now when I tell you I don't care, like before, when I would get on social media, you would not see me without my face, like at least made up a little bit. Just all of that. Things that I would do, like, it's almost like I would do them to really just get validated for it. And then once I got off of there and I was learning so much and I was doing so much, but nobody was really a part of that process with me. Like, I wasn't showing it to the world. I wasn't taking a picture of everything and posting it. I was doing it in the privacy of my own life. And when I tell you, it was just so liberating. And I really got to know me and love me and accept me without worrying about anyone else. I would say getting off of social media, I was very concerned about what other people thought of me, how they perceived me, what I was putting out there, how I was looking, you know, just all of these things, taking into account all of these things when it came to my life. But now I don't care. Literally don't care. Like, I don't care. Like, me being a good few of my videos, I think my first video on YouTube, I didn't have no makeup on. Like, I don't wear makeup like that. When I feel like wearing makeup, I wear it. I'm not anti anything, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not anti getting dressed up, I'm not anti looking away, but I literally only do it when I feel like it. I do it when I want to. I do it when I feel, you know what I'm saying? Like, it has nothing to do with any external anything. And so that just, I don't know, that's probably been the best thing for me, I guess. Like, just being free, feeling free from that. Like, now I am, of course, on YouTube, which to me isn't really social media, but everyone could argue it. So I guess it's kind of a social media thing. But on here, I am creating, I'm doing things, and it's more so an outlet for me. Like, I find it to be fun, it's enjoyable. And I did recently get on TikTok, like, maybe a month ago, and I've just been creating stuff on there too. I haven't even really been looking at too many things. Like, I think that's what's cool, is that I am now back on social media in that regard. Like, I am on TikTok, but I don't feel the urge to, like, I don't feel the urge to keep scrolling. I did go through a day where I was trying to learn it, but even that kind of just like drained me. Like, I'm like, this is a lot. But yeah, so I don't be on there like that either, except for if I am posting something. And like I said, it's stuff that I enjoy. It's stuff that I want to post, and whether I get 1 million likes or whether I get 1 like or none, because I do have some stuff on there that has none. Like, I don't even really have no followers, and I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not concerned about the followers. I'm just trying to learn it. Yeah, so that's just where I'm at with it. But anyways, those are the 5 things that I learned from being off of social media for a year. I hope this is helpful. If you've kind of taken a social media hiatus and gave it some time, and, you know what I'm saying, allowed yourself to kind of break free from that matrix, because it's like a matrix of its own. Let me know in the comments what you learned. Let me know if you're ever going back. Let me know if you have gone back. And how are you doing things differently now than you did then? And if you're thinking about doing it, let me know. And maybe we can do a little challenge together or something. Okay. Well, that's all I got. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.